Is your dealership looking a little tired from the street? Do you need to work on curb appeal for your business? Today, we're going to talk about 5 easy things that you can do to make your dealership look sharp from the road. Stay tuned for this episode of Down Payment.
Welcome to Down Payment, the podcast for used car dealers. Prepare to learn something new about the industry that keeps us moving.
Check out all our podcast content on our social media channels. We are at Down Payment Podcast on YouTube, Down Payment Podcast on Instagram, and Down Payment Pod on X. Dealers, welcome back. So I've been out on the road visiting a lot of dealerships recently, and the one thing that I have noticed is some of you are looking a little bit rough from the road. Curb appeal might be lacking with some of your dealerships. Now, this is certainly not everyone, but for those of you, you know who you are, and it's okay because we've been there ourselves. Your dealership is looking a little bit rough. It's looking a little bit haggard. And yet you're competing with corporate dealerships nowadays. We're all competing with the CarMaxes and the Carvanas. And these used car dealerships that are looking very slick, very perfect, very minimalist, and there's nothing wrong. There's not a weed in sight. And yet for us, we don't have the ability to invest in our operations to make ourselves look like that. And yet we still have to compete with them. In this episode, I want to talk about 5 relatively easy or low cost, low investment things that you can do to boost the curb appeal of your dealership. Now, the first thing, the number one thing is get the weeds up. We've all had weeds creep up on our dealership and it doesn't look good and we know it, but we have a lot of things that are higher priorities. And yet it's such an important thing. Get the weeds trimmed, get the grass trimmed, make your dealership look clean. That is the easiest thing that you can have going on. And it's something that you should be tasking as part of your lot tech or your lot man's operations in a week. They should have a responsibility for getting all the weeds up, trimmed, grass, everything looking good at least once a week. The second thing, dealers, I know you all have power washers. Put them to use on something besides the cars. So get those power washers out, wash your buildings, wash everything down at least once a month. It's something that's easy to do. It's low cost. You can also, with those power washers, clean sidewalks, clean everything up with the power washer. It's easy and it makes a big visual effect. The third thing, this is a little bit more cumbersome, but get everything painted. There's a lot of stuff that you should have a view towards painting once a year. It's something that you can have a lot tech do as part of their regular responsibilities. Once a year after the spring showers, you can paint if you have poles, if you have light poles, if you have certain parts of the building that need to be painted on an annual basis, you can do that. But painting is something that is relatively easy for us to do, that has a big effect on the visual appeal of your dealership. Next thing, signage. A lot of you have signage that is really old. I'm talking about both outdoor and indoor signage. Now, if you go into any corporate store, there are a lot of posters and they are seasonal and they get changed frequently. You go into your used car dealerships and they might have some dot matrix printed signage that's been up for the last 35 or 40 years. It's not a great look. And while you might be nostalgic about some of your real old signage, you want to have signage inside that you are changing up seasonally. Signage, posters, stuff like that does not cost us a lot of money. You can have a graphic designer or an AI graphics tool make up new signage relatively easy for you. And get that stuff printed with your local printer or have a big printer online, print that stuff and ship it to you. Change that stuff up seasonally, just like the corporate stores do. That is one thing where we can match them at. Outdoors, your signage You can't change that seasonally, but make sure that your main sign is looking good, and then you can have vinyl signage that you change at least once a year. Don't let that stuff look rough. It's something that's relatively easy for us to do to compete with the corporate dealerships. And then the last thing, lighting. Make sure that your lighting is good. Change bulbs. If you need to get the electrician out to make sure that your outdoor lighting is working properly. And it's got two different roles for your dealership. It's got that security role. Lighting deters trouble at night. And it also has that retail sales effect. You want your lot to look good both day and night when people are passing by. Lighting is essential to your dealership looking good at night. Make sure that it's on point. And with that, go sell some cars and have a good week. Check out our podcast on all our social media channels. We are at Down Payment Podcast on YouTube, Down Payment Podcast on Instagram, and Down Payment Pod on X.
Thank you for listening. Down Payment, the podcast for used car dealers, is a production of Meta Financial Services Incorporated.